top 4 keys to a good hip hinge is, number 1, we want the movement to come from the hips. It sounds obvious because it's a hip hinge, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't just move at the hips. And so what I mean by that is we really get the majority of the movement coming from a good solid hip flex or hinge right here. A lot of people will want to go bend at the knees really far, bend at the ankles, and really don't dominate the movement from the hips. If you're not doing that, using the hips that is, as the majority mover in this exercise, then you're probably not doing a proper hip hinge. So number 2 would be that we're moving in more of a horizontal plane versus a vertical up and down plane. So what that would look like is, again, like if I'm in a lot of hip extension, I'm going forward. If I'm coming back into this flexion right here, I'm pushing my butt back behind me, and I'm moving horizontally. You notice that I'm not dropping in elevation or going down like I would in a squat. The squat's going to be more vertical, up and down, just like a pump handle, whereas a hinge is going to be more, again, from that front to back, and that's the plane we want it on. So that's the second thing that a good hip hinge has. The third thing is that we get our weight shifted back. So in a squat, you know, when we think of our center of balance, it's not going to be quite the same as our hip hinge is going to be. A hip hinge, we're going to start posteriorly shifting the weight back a little bit. As you see, we kind of have to do that naturally because our trunk is moving forward, so our butt or our hips are basically a counterbalance to that movement. And so third piece, again, is a good posterior weight shift. You'll feel it more through the back of the foot and the heels. The fourth piece is being able to tilt the pelvis. And so what I mean by that is, as we start to go back or push our butt back, what will happen is, a lot of times, is we can fall a little bit too far into what we call an anterior pelvic tilt, or our pelvis will start to dump forward. A lot of people bothers their back. So when they first do a hip hinge, if you're a beginner, or if you're somebody who hasn't done this a lot, you'll come down right in about here, and then you'll start to get you'll try to get a little bit more motion by tilting that pelvis forward, and you'll feel it in your back. Being able to control that pelvis to either flatten or drop out of it without rounding the back, mind you, those are 2 key differences. That's going to help your hip hinge and obviously take the pain off of your back, because that's really one of the main points of a good hip hinge, is taking pressure and stress off the low back and the knees, because we're just moving, again, right at the hips. So 4 main points, just a quick review. Movement is dominated by the hips, that's number 1. Not the knees, not the ankles. The hips, they're the main star of the show. Number 2 is that we're going in more of a horizontal plane, and we're not going vertical. So that's the second piece to a good hip hinge. The third is that we're getting a little bit more of a posterior weight shift, engaging muscles back here, and utilizing these muscles that we sit on all day and never use to perform the movement. And then the fourth piece is being able to tilt that pelvis so we can adjust as necessary as we come down into that hip hinge. So those are the 4 main pieces to a good hip hinge. Give it a try.